Shalom. Hello, everybody. Back again for maybe a shorter little video here. Hopefully to clarify the confusion that maybe is kind of around at the moment. What I want to do first of all is show you what I'm actually getting this stuff from. This is the ancient Hebrew Torah by a guy named Jeff Benner. And as you can see, it's got all the Paleo-Hebrew there of the 5 pages of the five things from the Bible, the Torah itself. The 5 books of the Bible, I mean to say. So also using this one, the Hallelujah scriptures, and as you can see on the front in the Paleo, you have the word YAHUAH here in the Paleo, and that goes right the way through. That's the Old and the New Testament. So there you go. That's what we're using. And well, to start it off with, I suppose what I need to point out first of all is the rule of the whole thing is there's no E in Hebrew and there's no J in Hebrew, Paleo or later. In the written form there is, but phonetically there's no E or J in the words and the names, and that's where a lot of confusion comes in. So without further ado, all praise to the Most High, of course, for allowing me to put this video out, and thank you all for coming along to watch it. I'm afraid I haven't got the chat open today, although probably some people are in the chat, maybe, but it's just going to be a quicker video than what I've been doing recently. So starting up here at the top, you see this is from right to left, this is the number, the Strong's number H3068, which begins with the Yod, which has the meaning of action, what you do with your arms, and basically what deeds you carry out. The Hay, which means praise and worship, behold, look up. Next is the Vav, the YAHUAH or the Wah, which is this symbol here, which means to secure something or be fixed to something, to add something to something. This next one again is the Hay. So here you have the early Paleo, the original form of Paleo. Then you have this one here, which is the later Paleo versions that you sometimes see, that was supposedly the one that they used on the stone tablets, the 10 Commandments, but possibly it might have been this one, I should imagine, but nobody knows that for sure. We do have something called the Moabite stone, which has, I think it has these versions. So as you can see here, it's obviously read from right to left, going that way. So what we've got here, I've got, that's the name as it would be. And then over here, I've got the name that some people use. The modern Hebrews now don't use this name. They don't like anybody to use it in speech or even to write it, I believe. They don't even want anybody to know what his name is. And so what they use in their written scriptures is this mostly. And as you can see here, there's no E, it's an A. That's an A. Aluhym. Aluhym, not Elohim, like some people pronounce it, because there's no E in it. It's an A, the ox head, the Aleph, not the Elef. So, you know, that's pretty clear on that it's the A first, the Lamed, the YAHUAH, or the Vav, or the Wah, whichever one you prefer, the Hay, the Yod, and the Mem. And all those together means the strength that the ox head gives, the Lamed that leads and guides the nail or the peg or the finger or whatever that one somebody wants to put a label on it, means to secure, so that you're secure in the thing you're actually dealing with. The Hay again, which is the praise and the worship. And look above, behold, the Yod, the action again, and the M, that means to, it's like that's the, if you remember from earlier video, that's a representation of the land or water, like a mountain view on the horizon or waves on an ocean that seems to carry on forever, endlessly, basically. So that's what those symbols mean. So the strength that leads securely in praise and worship, in actions, endlessly. That's what that Aluhym means. This is the later Hebrew version of that, with the modern Hebrew, the Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Hay, Yod, Mem. So with their Hebrew written word, before us as modern people got it, because, you know, most of us back 200 or 300 years ago couldn't actually read anything. We had to take the so-called, in brackets, church's word for it. So we unless you was very privileged or, like today, in an elite position, you didn't get to know any of this stuff. And it's only through, you know, what discoveries that have happened recently that we get to know this stuff. You know, it's been said, you know, many people have wanted to know and see these things and have not. So we are, I believe, at that point in time where, you know, the light is being shone on the darkness, and all praise to the Most High for that. So yeah, going back to like when they started to translate the Bibles in the Middle Ages from the Greek language and the earlier Hebrew languages that they had discovered. They had the Greek had this term, which is Adon or Adonai or Adoni, which means Aluhym, God. Basically, this whole section here means a God, you know, what you worship and adore and give your praise to. Over here, I'll give you a breakdown here of what Jehovah would be. This is Jehovah if it was written in Paleo. But as we know, there's no J in it, so it wouldn't be Jehovar. It would be YAH, Yahovah. So that would actually be spelt this way: Yod, Aleph, Hey, Ayin, Vav, Aleph, Hey. Underneath that, the other version of the name that people sometimes tend to use, whether it be correct or not, I don't know. It's not one I use. I don't use either of these ones. I tend to go for this one because this is the earliest one I can find, so early enough is good enough for me. But each to their own. Everybody can use what name they want to use. I'm not trying to push anything on anybody here. I'm just showing what I've discovered and what I'm being led to show. And importantly, at the bottom here, this is the most important thing at the end of the day. Who we put our faith and trust in is the Aleph and the Tau, the beginning and the end, the I am. We obviously don't want to put our faith in the other side because that's not going to do us any good at all. That's why the world is in the state that it is. And that's why this person is coming back to fix it, because everybody's lost their way and they believe that they are the gods that have power and can do what they desire to do what thou wilt. Anyway, I'm beginning to rant a bit here. Seems like ranting is in the air, but hey, we'll do a bit of that. So anyway, here we have a abbreviated, shortened version of Yahweh or Jehovah or Yahuwah. So you have, I've written it from left to right here because obviously it's written left to right here, but originally it would be the other way round, from right to left. So you've got the Yod, the Aleph, and the Hay. Now on that point, I'd like to raise another little point that I've been thinking about recently. Everybody's making this big fuss nowadays about, oh, there's going to be a mark in the right hand and there's going to be a mark on the forehead. Well, if you know what this stuff means, then to me it's as clear as day that in the right hand, most people, I believe, around the world today are probably right-handed, but back in the day, most people used their right hand to perform the actions, which is the yod. And what you have in your head, what governs your faith and your belief and everything about your person, is what ultimately directs your actions. So if, like myself and lots of other people that I know, have the Most High in their thoughts pretty much virtually all the time, then that is what is on your mind. Now, your mind is behind your pineal position on your forehead. So what is on your mind and what you do with your actions, in my determination of that terminology, is what could be described as what is in your right hand and on your forehead. But then again, this is just my own ideas. You know, everybody's free to make their own mind up. Here we go again. So we have Yah, God, Adonai, and then we have Abba. Some people refer to the Most High or God as Abba, Father. So Abba is written here in Paleo. It's a mirror reflection. The Aleph and the Bet and the Aleph. So it means the strength of the house and the house that gives strength. So he who he be, the great I am, the Most High YAHUAH, gives us the strength in our house, our household that we have, if you're blessed with that. And from that, it makes our house and our strength one whole thing. You know, we're a whole complete unit. So that's how we get to refer to him as the Father. Another point I want to make clear here is some people call on the Lord. Now, if you look into what the Lord originally meant in the scriptures, it meant somebody that you were under the command of. You know, whether it was a god or whether it was a actual physical human, man, woman, whatever. There was so many different gods to those people back in those days. They pretty much just chopped and changed like the weather. But Lord, in one of its original meanings, was to worship the god Baal, the one where they sacrificed their children to and did horrendous things in the name of faith or what they believed in. So that's another one I don't like to use. Lord, because if you look back in the medieval times again, when you were a poor peasant family in Europe, or I don't think they had them in America then, but most European countries, you had a lord who was in charge of a certain area of the country, a district, or a whole region of a country, and everybody had to submit to his authority. So it all basically means the same thing, but this should be who we are calling upon in his proper name, not as the Lord. Each to their own again. This is just my belief in the thing. We everybody has to make their own mind up and use whatever terminology they want to, but it causes so much friction and disruption and distraction that it's not a good thing. Basically, that's about it, really. So remembering all the time that whatever it is we are calling upon, although it's got to be the right one, it's who we put our faith and trust in that is the important thing. And I just wanted to put this video out. I've kind of not hurried it out, but I just wanted to get it out there so that people can see where we've got these names and titles from. And I'm not telling anybody what to do or say, but everybody's free, hopefully, still, to be able to use what words and names they want to use, but everybody's free to do that at the moment until the powers that be on this world deem it otherwise. So with that said, thanks everybody for watching, and all praise to the Most High, and take care. Much love. Shalom.